Hey guys, welcome back to The Horror with your hostess with the mostest, Jen Bell, as always. Welcome back. So we are moving right along with our Friday 13th franchise review, and we are up to part 6. Jason Lives from 1987. So we are back once again with the Tommy Jarvis character. We are going back to the newly renamed Camp Forest Green. Sorry, brain farts. So a couple of changes in this one. Tommy, once again, recast by a different actor, Tom Matthews. And Tommy's okay now. Tommy's all right. He is no longer, he sort of is still harboring some stuff from Jason and everything, but he's like, you know what, I need to be free from this. I need to free myself from Jason in all those horrible events. And he decides to go with his buddy Horseshack to Jason's grave. He's going to set him on fire, but then he just kind of snaps and decides to take a rod and stab him a couple times. And then what do you know? Of course, it thunders and lightnings and is raining. And then, of course, the bolt of lightning hits the dang metal rod and resurrects Jason. Nice going, Tommy. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, Tommy's back. He's all right. But for some reason, as in part 5, his sister Trish, nowhere to be seen, nowhere to be mentioned. What the hell happened to Trish? I find it kind of hard. I don't even know why they never brought up Trish again. I really don't. I could see if they're trying to be like, oh, well, the actress didn't want to come back. Well, you recast Tommy twice. So I don't know why she was not brought back in either movie. I would have liked to have seen her in either 5 or 6, just to kind of see like what's going on. But she's nowhere. I could have kind of seen her come back in 5, come visit him at the halfway house, have a little family therapy session. I don't know. Yeah, whatever happened to Trish? Like, is she all right? Is she in some therapy herself? I don't know. Anyway, so this is the movie where I give Tom McLaughlin, the director, a lot of credit for this movie, because especially after part 5, a lot of people really disliking part 5 and everything, rightfully so. He has this one, and he's kind of like, you know what? You guys tried something different in the last one, totally failed. I'm going to try and sort of do a little something different and have fun with it, because after that one, the fans need something fun. So he definitely added, like, some humor to it and everything, some of that snappy humor, and also that self-awareness in this movie and everything, such as, the kids are in the cabin or whatever, they're playing a game, they're like, oh, we gotta find out which cabin Jason's in, and blah, blah, blah. Or when they're in the car towards the beginning, and the two characters are coming, driving along and everything, and they see Jason or whatever, and the girl's like, well, I've seen enough horror movies to know that any guy in a hockey mask is no good or whatever. Like, little things like that I really love that he did. And not to mention, because I know this was very much popularized by the Scream franchise, especially the first one in 1996, which gets all the credit for doing this. But I'm sorry, Wes Craven, but Friday Part 6 did this a whole 9 years before your movie came out. So I'm just saying, and I'm sure that there are other ones before and after this, before Scream came out, that did this. So I'm saying it right now, this is one of the first movies, not Scream, to do that and, make it a thing in movies. So I'm just saying, not trying to hate on Scream or anything, but that has always aggravated me that movie has gotten credit for doing that self-awareness and everything and humor in a movie when it wasn't. And I love John Carpenter. I love Wes Craven. I do. I love his movies, but sorry. But yeah, you know. Another interesting thing about this movie that I wish they would have kind of gone into. I know. I believe that they kind of dove into this for the novelization of Part Six, but I know Tom McLaughlin kind of wanted to explore the like who is Jason's dad in this and everything, and I think that would have been kind of interesting, you know. But of course, once again, you know, good idea that they easily could have put in, but they were like, no, we're not gonna do it. So we get the same kind of watered down sequel as we always do. And that was to go into, like I said, who Jason's father was. You know, I think it would have been kind of cool. I know there were talks of, and I think this was in the novelization where Elias, who was the caretaker at the cemetery, you know, like the drunk guy, that was going to be his father. And the reasoning, kind of like why he's at this job and everything, is actually at the cemetery where Jason's buried at, which, yeah, Jason's buried in the cemetery. Way to go on that. Smart thinking. But, you know, the reason why he's kind of working there is because, you know, he is his father and he's kind of trying to watch over Jason's grave, watch over Jason and everything, sort of kind of maybe trying to redeem himself for not really being the best father in the world. Who knows? Maybe have a little backstory, see what happened. But, of course, once again, like I said, we didn't get that, which I think is a shame. I think that would have been a pretty cool way to, you know, kind of branch off with like the Tommy character and everything, especially considering, obviously we can tell by this point, they're not going to do anything else with Tommy. He's not going to go into being Jason or anything. So, you know, with that kind of being thrown out the window, I think they could have easily gone through that venue, kind of seeing what else they could have done, but we didn't. But yeah. So another thing that's like in this movie that's that I quite enjoyed that Tom McLaughlin did was he did a lot of like little nods and everything, like the sheriff being Sheriff Garris, named after Mick Garris, another horror director and everything. He's done quite a bit of work. Little things like, you know, Cunningham Road after Sean Cunningham, or Town of Carpenter after John Carpenter and everything, and like the Karloff's grocery and stuff, like little things like that, you know, I really enjoy. Like, he was, you know, kind of acknowledging the past efforts and everything from previous people and everything that were, you know, really kind of starting to get established names or already kind of icons in the genre. So there's, you know, that was a nice little like touch to it and everything. But no, I think, you know, I think this one is definitely done very well. It's still, I feel like it's got quite a bit of flaws, as you do tend to find this late into like sequels and everything. But it's still very enjoyable. I feel like it is, it kind of redeems itself after the dismal part 5 and everything. I think it does give a little bit something to the fans of like, we kind of messed up the last one. Here's one that we're trying to kind of get it back on track. Here's something, and, you know, a little bit of humor and everything. And I feel like it was giving us credit as fans that we're a little smarter than what a lot of people think. Like, we pick up on little things like that, some of the humor and all that and whatnot. So it's, you know, it's a pretty good one. And this is also the first one, and really almost the only one. I know Jason Goes to Hell has a kid and stuff in it, a baby, but this is really the first one where like the camp actually had campers. A camp that has campers is ridiculous. Who goes to camp? But no, it's, you know, so you kind of see that and you're kind of like, is he going to kill the kids? Is he going to kill the kids? But no, you kind of see a little bit of a human side in Jason when he's in one of the cabins the girls' cabins, and one of the little girls, Nancy, who, by the way, is not actually named after Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street. She's actually named after Tom McLaughlin's wife. She, keeps saying like, "Oh, I see the Nightmare Man. Oh, I see the scary man." And then, he later on we see him in the cabin and everything, kind of walking down the aisles, and he sees this girl, kind of goes up to her, and you think like, what? Is he? Is he? And he doesn't. Like, she's, she sees it. You see the girl start praying and everything, because it's literally the only thing she knows to do. And that's what she was told to do. She got scared again. So, she does that, and then Jason kind of goes away, leaves her alone. I think that kind of shows that there is a little bit of still a human in Jason and everything. So it gives him a touch of a human quality, which I like, because you do kind of seem like, oh, well, I was killed as a kid. I don't want to do that to another kid. So, he's a little sympathetic towards kids, He wants to save the kids, So he doesn't want to turn into what the counselors and stuff of yesteryear kind of did to him. So, way to go, Jason. But no, this is a pretty decent one. It's not bad. Like I said, not one of my favorite. Well, it's one of my favorites, but it's still, in my opinion, kind of a weaker installment. I feel like from here on out, they all are pretty weak in varying ranges and everything, but whatever. But once again, let me know what you guys think of this one. How do you feel about this one compared to Part 5? Was it a much more satisfying movie, much more satisfying plot, or do you think it was just as equally bad as Part 5? What do you guys think? Let me know. Once again, as always, let me know what you think of like the final character, or the final girl, final guy, and Tommy Jarvis and Megan. Megan, for me, she's forgettable to me, honestly. I mean, nothing wrong with Amy Cook, the actress. I think she did a terrific job, but her personality just reminds me of those girls that I just could not stand growing up. Still cannot stand, but whatever. But no, she's, she does a good job and everything. Like I said, she's just, she's not Ginny or Alice for me. I'm just saying. But anyway, guys, till next time, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.